If you're over 60, eat one handful of these every single day and watch what happens to your brain, your heart, and your waistline in just 30 days. I'm not talking about a supplement. I'm not talking about a powder. I'm talking about something you can buy at any grocery store for under $3. And the research behind what it does to the aging body is frankly shocking. Most people think of blueberries as just a healthy snack, a little antioxidant boost. Nice, but not life-changing. They are completely wrong. Because what happens inside your body when you eat blueberries consistently, specifically after the age of 60, is a completely different biological story. And once I walk you through the science, I promise you, you will never look at this little fruit the same way again. Let's start with your brain, because this is where the research gets almost unbelievable. A landmark study from the University of Cincinnati tested adults between the ages of 68 and 92. One group drank a blueberry powder equivalent daily. The other group got a placebo. Nobody knew which group they were in. After 16 weeks, the blueberry group showed measurable improvements in memory recall and cognitive processing speed. Brain scans showed increased activity in regions directly linked to memory, regions that typically go quiet as we age. The lead researcher described the results as, quote, meaningful cognitive benefits in an older population. That's a scientist choosing those words carefully, and those words mean your brain responded to blueberries in ways they could actually see on a scan. Here's why it happens. Blueberries are loaded with a specific class of compounds called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue-purple color. And anthocyanins do something remarkable. They cross the blood-brain barrier. Most things can't do that. The brain protects itself aggressively, but anthocyanins get through. And once inside, they reduce neuroinflammation, they improve communication between neurons, and they protect brain cells from oxidative stress, which is the primary driver of age-related cognitive decline. In simple terms, they reduce the brain inflammation that causes memory loss, mental fog, and slower thinking. And here's what makes this especially important after 60. Starting around age 60, the blood-brain barrier becomes more permeable to damaging compounds. Your brain becomes more vulnerable. Neuroinflammation accelerates. That's why cognitive decline tends to speed up in the 6th and 7th decade of life. Anthocyanins work like a firefighter, going directly to where the fire is. Now let's talk about your heart, because the blueberry research here is just as powerful. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed 138 adults with metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, elevated blood sugar for 6 months. 1 cup of blueberries per day, that's all. At the end of 6 months, the blueberry group showed an 11% reduction in arterial stiffness, their blood pressure dropped by an average of 5 millimeters of mercury systolic, and their HDL cholesterol, the protective kind, increased significantly. The researchers concluded that 1 cup of blueberries per day could reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 15% in adults with metabolic risk factors. 15% from 1 cup of fruit. The mechanism is again the anthocyanins. They improve the function of your endothelium. That's the thin lining inside your blood vessels. Healthy endothelium means vessels that flex and relax properly. Stiff, inflamed endothelium means high blood pressure, clots, and cardiovascular events. Blueberries essentially keep your blood vessels younger and more flexible than they would be otherwise at your age.
And then there's blood sugar. Because here's something most people don't know about blueberries. Despite being a fruit, despite containing natural sugar, they actually improve insulin sensitivity. A study from Louisiana State University found that adults who consumed a blueberry smoothie twice daily for 6 weeks showed a 22% improvement in insulin sensitivity compared to the control group. 22% in 6 weeks in people who started with insulin resistance. The reason? Blueberries have a remarkably low glycemic index, around 53. They slow the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, and the anthocyanins actually interact with glucose receptors directly, improving how your cells respond to insulin. This matters enormously for weight management after 60, because after 60, insulin resistance becomes one of the primary reasons people gain weight even when they're eating the same amount as they always have. It's not willpower, it's biology, and blueberries directly address that biology. Now let's talk about how to actually use blueberries to get these results, because there are a few things that make a significant difference in effectiveness. First, timing. The research consistently shows morning consumption produces the strongest cognitive effects. Your brain is most receptive to antioxidant compounds early in the day. Eat your blueberries within the first hour of waking, before or with breakfast. Second, quantity. The minimum effective dose in most studies is half a cup. The optimal dose for measurable results across brain, heart, and metabolic markers is 1 full cup. That's roughly 148 grams. Not 3 blueberries on top of your yogurt, a full cup. Third, consistency. This is not a one-time boost. The benefits accumulate over weeks and months. Most studies showing significant brain improvements run 12 to 16 weeks. Cardiovascular benefits peak around the 6-month mark. This is a daily practice, not a 1-week experiment. Fourth, fresh versus frozen. Here is something that surprises most people. Frozen blueberries are not inferior. In many studies, frozen blueberries actually showed equal or slightly superior antioxidant availability compared to fresh. The freezing process breaks down the cell walls slightly, making the anthocyanins more bioavailable. So if fresh blueberries are expensive or out of season, frozen is completely valid, often better. Fifth, what you combine them with. Avoid eating blueberries with high amounts of dairy fat in the same sitting. Some research suggests dairy proteins can bind to anthocyanins and reduce their absorption. A better pairing is oats, which enhance the cardiovascular benefits, or walnuts, which add omega-3 fatty acids that work synergistically with anthocyanins for brain health. Now I want to address one thing directly, because I know some of you watching this are on blood thinners, specifically warfarin. Blueberries contain vitamin K and certain compounds that can affect how blood thinners work. If you're on anticoagulant medication, please talk to your doctor before significantly increasing your blueberry intake. Not because blueberries are dangerous, but because consistency matters when you're on those medications, and your doctor may want to monitor your levels if your diet changes significantly. For everyone else, blueberries are one of the safest, most thoroughly researched foods available. There is essentially no upper limit that causes harm in healthy adults. Let me also tell you what blueberries will not do, because I want to be honest with you. Blueberries are not a cure for dementia. They are not a replacement for blood pressure medication. They are not a magic weight loss solution. What they are is a genuinely powerful tool, backed by serious peer-reviewed research that addresses multiple mechanisms of aging simultaneously. And that is extremely rare. Most interventions target one thing. Blueberries appear to target the foundational biology of aging: inflammation, oxidative stress, vascular function, insulin sensitivity, and neuroplasticity, all at once. That's why researchers call it the blueberry effect. Here's what I want you to do starting tomorrow morning. Buy blueberries today, fresh or frozen, either is fine. Put them in your refrigerator or your freezer. Tomorrow morning, measure out 1 cup. Eat them with your breakfast or blend them with oats and water into a quick smoothie. Do that every day for 30 days. After 30 days, I want you to come back to this video and leave a comment telling me what you noticed. Energy levels, mental clarity, sleep quality, blood pressure readings if you measure them at home. I want to hear your experience. Because the truth is, the biggest barrier to improving your health after 60 is not lack of information. It's not lack of access. It's the belief that small, simple changes can't move the needle. 1 cup of blueberries every morning is a small, simple change, and the science says it absolutely moves the needle. You've taken care of everyone else your whole life. It's time to take care of your brain, your heart, and your body with the same level of commitment. Start tomorrow, 1 cup, 30 days. And if this gave you something valuable today, share it with someone you love who is over 60. Because this information should not be sitting behind a paywall or buried in a medical journal. It should be in every kitchen, every morning. I'll see you in the next one.